Welcome to Metricom. Today, we're going to talk about sustainable buildings. Now, when I say that, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Seriously, what does it mean for a building to be sustainable? For most of us, the answer usually circles around energy and, the environment.
Right? You're probably thinking about things like energy efficiency, solar panels, maybe reducing the carbon footprint. And hey, you're not wrong, but that's only part of the story.
Okay, let's really dig into this, because this is the whole point. A building can tick every single energy-saving box. It can look perfect on a spreadsheet and still be a pretty awful place for the actual human beings who have to work or live inside it. There's this huge hidden factor we almost never talk about.
And that hidden factor? It's health. This is the big idea we're unpacking today. A truly high-performing building isn't just efficient. It absolutely has to be healthy for the people inside. And that idea? Well, it changes everything.
So let's get specific. What we're really talking about here is something called indoor air quality, or IAQ. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It's the measure of how the air inside a building is affecting our health, our comfort, and even how productive we are.
And why is this so incredibly important? Well, just look at this number. We spend something like 90% of our lives indoors, at the office, at school, at home. The air in those places, that's the air we're breathing almost constantly.
So that leads to a pretty big question, right? What's actually in that air we're breathing all day? Turns out, there can be a lot of invisible threats just kind of lurking around.
So let's break down the usual suspects. When you don't have good ventilation, CO2 levels creep up and suddenly you're feeling drowsy and can't focus. Then you've got tiny particles, particulate matter, that can irritate your lungs. There are also VOCs. These are basically chemicals that get released from furniture, paint, even cleaning supplies that just make you feel unwell. And if the humidity's off, you're practically rolling out the welcome mat for mold. Every single one of these things directly messes with how we feel and how we perform.
Now, for a long time, this has created a huge debate in building design. It's this idea that you have to make a choice. Do you want to save energy, or do you want to have healthy air? But you know what? It's a false choice.
The whole problem comes from a kind of tunnel vision in the design. We got so focused on making buildings airtight to save on heating and cooling costs that we accidentally sealed everything in with us. All those pollutants we just talked about get trapped inside.
And this really shows you the massive shift in thinking that's happening. The old way was to see this as a trade-off. You can have efficiency or you can have fresh air. Pick one. But the new way of thinking, it's all about integration. The goal now is to design buildings that do both brilliantly.
And this quote just nails it. It's not about giving up efficiency to get health. A healthy building is an efficient building. It's just a much smarter, more complete version.
Okay, so if we're putting health and efficiency together, what does that mean for the big picture? How do we redefine what a high-performance building even is?
It means that real sustainability isn't just about saving the planet out there. It's also about creating internal spaces that are safe, that work well, and that actually support the health of the people in here. It's about human impact just as much as environmental impact.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it's a whole system. First, you need smart ventilation that only brings in fresh air when you need it, so you're not wasting energy. Second, you use really good filters to catch all that nasty stuff. Third, you have to be careful about the materials you use. Picking paints and furniture that don't release a bunch of chemicals. And finally, you monitor the air constantly with sensors, so you always know exactly what's going on.
And look, if just being healthier isn't a good enough reason, you should know this isn't just some nice-to-have idea. There is a very real, very powerful business case for clean air.
Because think about it. When the air quality is bad, real problems start to happen. People are less happy, their focus and productivity take a nosedive, people call in sick more often. And if you own the building, the value of your asset goes down because people see it as a low-quality space. It has real, measurable costs.
So you can see the future of great buildings is getting so much broader. It's moving past focusing only on carbon to embrace this bigger, more complete picture that includes our health, our comfort, and the very air we breathe.
It all comes down to this one simple, powerful truth. A building can't really be called good if it fails the people inside it. A truly sustainable building has to be a healthy one, period.
And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you're at work, or even just sitting at home, think about the building you're in. Is the air you're breathing right now helping you, or is it working against you? It's definitely a question worth asking.